Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick Theriot, and today I have an exciting new video for you guys. Today, I want to talk about 3 struggles of ecom brand owners that they really face when they're trying to scale their business and how to basically solve those in a nutshell. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My apologies, guys. I know last week we only posted 1 video. Very busy week, out of town trip and everything like that, but we're back in action. So let's get started. Hundreds of ad accounts and talking to hundreds of ecom brand owners, I've really kind of pinpointed the exact problems they face when they're trying to scale their business. These are things like not getting enough creative in, not being able to, hitting revenue plateaus in their business, and seeing profits decrease in more expensive advertising. And because of this, they've really kind of hit this like halt in their business, and it's really frustrating, honestly. It's more of just like, what do we need to do to move forward? So before we actually start discussing this, just a little bit about me. Again, my name is Nick Theriot. I've generated over $10 million in online revenue in the last 2 years, helping ecom brands. We've helped businesses like Gritty Souls scale from negative on ads to $2.3 million in 15 months. Brands like Metal Address Signs go from $7,000 a month to over $3 million in revenue in 24 months. Brands like Icon Amsterdam go from $270K a month to doing their first $1 million month and ultimately doing $2 million in revenue within 90 days of us working together. And just between these brands' success and what made them different from all the accounts that we've audited is that they've taken very successful actions that I'm going to show you in this video. So 3 struggles every ecom brand faces is they're hitting revenue ceilings inside their business. ROAS is not where it used to be. ROAS was so good back in the day, and ultimately creative is stale and feels like they're pushing a dead horse. They feel like they're just regurgitating the same old stuff. So the solution, this is things that all of our clients take and allows us to scale our accounts at a steady pace, is that they create new ads weekly that we guide them on. So we guide them on the creation of the specific angle. We write the copy, they create the creatives based off our storyboards and our specific hey, we want you to recreate this ad essentially right here. And then we also like to create 3 iterations of our best performing creative. So go find your best performing video or photo in your account over the last week, maybe over the last month, and create 3 iterations of it weekly and put that testing. And basically what it does is if you create new iterations of your best performing stuff, it allows things to just kind of keep going on for a little bit longer, but the new angles is going to create the biggest impact in your business. So you basically have 2 options from here. You can actually go ahead and find someone to do this stuff. I'm about to show you exactly what to do, or you can cut out some of your busy work. Every ecom brand owner is so busy. You can cut some of that busy work out and really focus time and attention on this. And look, to be honest, I'm auditing a lot of ecom brand owners. A lot of their busy work is not busy at all. It's not really productive. It's like customer service for 5 hours. Customer service does not make you money. Go hire a VA to handle that for you, and that's going to give you substantially more time to focus on high revenue driven actions inside of your business. So when it comes down to create new ads weekly, new angles weekly, audience research, I feel like it's a thing that's like, oh yeah, you do audience research once and you never do it again. You need to repeatedly do audience research to continuously stay on top of what and how your audience is acting, what they're going through, and being able to formulate new ideas and angles around repeatedly doing audience research. So we highly recommend YouTube. YouTube is a really great place to find a lot of good content on your audience. Look at competitors, look at products similar to your product, and this is going to allow you to basically dig through and get real footage of people talking about a product. But that's not it. The best part is looking at the comments. You can get some really juicy golden nuggets from the comments of real people expressing their opinions, their concerns, their thoughts, and that right there is where we found the most impact in our advertising to get some really good ammunition essentially in that case. So once you start building all this up, we recommend taking your some core emotions, the average human experiences, and start to brainstorm new angles around your product. So how does my product add love to someone's life? How does it make my consumer feel more loved? And then say fear. How does it remove fear from their life? How does it basically taking that removal of that fear from their life that's going to get them to purchase? So maybe what fears they currently have right now that we can address. So go over all these emotions, because at the end of the day, people buy with emotion and justify with logic. So this is only one part of the puzzle, but it's going to really help you come up with some new creative angles around your product. You sit down, you could probably plan out about 20 to 30 of them. You can pick out about 5 or 6. It's the next 5 to 6 weeks of angles, of a new angle each week that you can specifically focus on when you're brainstorming everything. Now, after you brainstorm these angles, you need to be actually able to articulate them in a way that your editing team, whether it's in-house or using a service like No Limit Creatives. We highly recommend No Limit Creatives, just because the fact of get unlimited creatives for one flat fee per month. And you click link below to get start up your little trial, whatever, for them as well if you want. But you need an efficient way to articulate them of what you want. And we highly recommend using a storyboard template to be able to actually articulate your ideas in a way that it's easy for the editing team to understand. I see too many people like, oh, I want a creative to do this, and it lists out, just basically regurgitate all this information that's hard to understand. So you need an efficient way to be able to go ahead and transfer that information into the head of another person. That's why we recommend a storyboard. Just literally plan out, okay, frame 1, we want a girl talking about AG1, which is athletic greens right here, and it's scooping out the bucket. Great. Boom. Scene 2, we want a bottle popping up on the screen with 5 stars, over 100,000 customers trust AG1, yada yada yada. So each frame right here, obviously you have a description, and then you have like the copy you want specifically below it. And these templates work really well. Like I said, easy way to articulate information to your editing team. You can also take ads, download them, and just basically say, hey, I want it to have the feel of this ad. I want it to look like this ad in terms of the text and stuff like that. That's another just really great way to articulate information to your editing team to get that understood. Now that you're starting to create new angles each week, you're roughly creating 6 new ads every week, 6 new creatives a week. You need an efficient way to be able to go ahead and test these. So what we recommend is one creative testing campaign. It's an ABO campaign inside of Facebook. And we basically just create like say, for example, each batch right here is an ad set. And sometimes we'll do like one batch, like batch 7 right here. You can see it's a open, a lookalike, and a lookalike. But lately we've been just doing one batch per like 3 creatives. So 3 creatives per ad set. And we'll call it like batch 1. Batch 1, these 3 creatives. And lately we've been actually just going after purely open, broad. All we're doing is age and gender. That's it. And your location. So USA or Canada, yada, yada, yada. Men 18 to 24. That's it. And there's a big reason why, but we're just really starting to go down the broad route. And that's a whole nother video to dive into why we're going broad. So long story short, we're testing at low budgets. Typically it's 1x our target CPA for daily budget. And then once a creative spins inside that ad set once it spins, I think it's 1x our AOV lifetime. If it's profitable, we leave it on. If it's unprofitable, we turn it off. And guess what? Spin, we'll start going to the other creatives in the ad set, because I know everyone below is going to start commenting saying, hey, well, what about the other creatives? Facebook's just going to pick one. I know that. So that's why we pretty much want to monitor it. And lifetime, 1x your AOV, or if you're in lead gen, app installs, yada, 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 3x your target CPA. So when that lifetime spends on that and it's profitable, we're going to leave that ad on. If it's not profitable, we're going to turn it off. And we're looking for something juicy on there. So again, your low budget testing, if your break even ROAS is a 2x and you're getting a 2x, that's not a good ad. Look, just gonna let you know now. This particular account, the break even's like 1.5, 1.6. So we're looking for like a 2.5 to 3x low budget testing. Guess what? Here's an example of a winning ad set. 3.36 ROAS, amazing, incredibly good results on this particular creative right here. And we found a winner, and then now we can actually move that into our scaling campaigns. Fun. So our scaling campaigns now, in fact, our exact account structure now is literally one campaign for scaling, one campaign for retargeting, and one campaign for testing. That's it. That's the whole ad account. Okay. And we're keeping things very simple. We're big budget CBO with 1 to 2 ad sets at max. That's it. This is going to keep things into active And we're also focusing on bigger, broader audiences because we're looking at the long-term longevity of a business. If your stuff ain't working on broad or bigger stuff, it's not your audience, it's your creative. Your creative needs to be designed to go broad. And that's a whole nother video again. That's a bigger, deeper marketing understanding and marketing fundamental understanding of how you can go broad and be very profitable. So that being said, we just trickle in our new creatives as they become profitable into our scaling campaign. Oh, well, Nick, what about if it goes into learning? It will trigger the ad set into learning, and that's okay, because if it's a winning ad and you already have an ad set with winning ads in it and it goes back into learning, it's okay. It's going to go quickly back into active because you're spending a lot of money on this. Secondly, it's good that it goes back into learning for a little bit because you're adding a new creative in, and that's going to allow it to kind of optimize around that creative as well as your new stuff as well, and you'll be able to push it from there. So that's how we essentially do it, and it's working really well for us. And another thing to note from here as well, let's say you toss in some new creatives in there, it goes for a few days and it doesn't work at all, and it spends lifetime on that particular ad, and it's, again, not profitable at all. If you spent more than your AOV, then just turn it off, call it a day. And it worked well at low budget, great. Move it to a high scaling campaign. Didn't work at all, cut it. Just cut your large chart and keep moving on to that creative iterations and stuff, and really playing on that creative side. So you can see right here, inside of our ad account, we're spending little to no time in there. We're spending an hour a week, if that, on our account. But where we're spending the other 39 hours of the week is we're focusing on this specific area right here. We're focusing on crafting really good angles, and we're finding new angles, not necessarily crafting good angles, but we are focusing on the crafting of a really good hook. And we're also looking at the specifics of how can we kind of reimagine this creative, reiterate it and stuff like that. So we're really focusing on the creative side, and we're really focusing on our consumer that we're going after. And this is allowing us to get really good results for our clients because we're focusing on what drives performance. A lot of you guys are in the ads manager and having this performance has been down the last 6 months. Okay, great. Let me take a look at your ad account. Why haven't you ran new creatives? Oh, because it was performing amazing a few months ago. Well, no shit. Performance dies, like creative performance dies over time. It's not your product. It's likely, not your website unless you made some big changes. If you have a creative that took off, your product did well, your website did well, like everything did well, and then it started dropping in performance, it's not your product. It's not the seasonality of it, or there's a possibility of seasonality of it. It's not your product dying. It's the fact is you need new creative and everything introduced into the system. As you spend more, the creative dies faster. You need to test more creative. Oh, hey, Nick, I tested a new creative and it didn't work. Well, why did you only test one? We've had an account where we tested 12 new creatives and 2 creatives took off, okay? We're at a point where, hey, CPA is rising. Can we test a new audience? Can we test can we do ABO or CBO? No. What we did was we sat back and said, okay, what's going to drive the biggest impact in the business? New creative. Well, guess what? We sat down, we created 12 new ads, and guess what? 2 of them took off. The other ones, other failures. But those 2 that took off dropped CPA down by 30 to 40%. So imagine introducing something new to your business and drop your CPA down by 30 to 40% at scale. That's going to make you way more money in the long run. And then success at the end of the day is repeating successful actions. Okay. Why did you, I find a lot of people, they'll create some ads, take off, and then they get lazy. And they're like, oh, okay, great, cool. Ad account's done. Let me focus on some other stuff in the business. Then a few months later, they realize, oh shit, hey, haven't updated creatives in a while and performance is terrible. What can we do? Let's test some audiences. Well, no. What happened is that your high leverage action you took was sat down and create some really great creatives. And then what happened was you focus on other things in your business and stop testing new creative and stop putting shoots together and things like that. Now performance is dying. Now you're trying to look for some quick little fixes that's going to last 2 or 3 days and do nothing but frustrate you and confuse you. Whereas you could sit back, plan out new creatives, get new creatives put into that account, and then start testing. The quicker you can test, the quicker you'll find winners. The quicker you find winners, the quicker you'll be able to scale your account and increase profitability in your business. So this is some very important stuff right here that I still feel like a lot of ecom brand owners and just business owners in general. And look, hey, we even have the problem too when we're handling a few clients that sometimes we might get behind on a client or two. And it may just be because the client hasn't sent us creatives and stuff like that, and we have to really get on that particular client. But a lot of times what happens is that they're focusing on things that are not going to drive the biggest impact in the business. And as a business owner, you need to focus on the things that drive the biggest impact in your revenue and your profitability inside of your business. And that's where this is pretty much where the point I am trying to address here. So, yeah, I really hope this kind of brought some value to you and really made a good understanding of like what you need to do to increase profitability in your business, increase revenue, things like that in your business. And, maybe jump past that plateau you're experiencing right now inside of your business. So again, guys, my name is Nick Theriot. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And yeah, if you're an ecom brand owner, I do have an agency, and we do work with a few clients at a time, where we help you scale past the 6-figure a month mark to a 7-figure mark. And yeah, and long story short, if you're not there yet, stay subscribed to the channel, because I provide a lot of just good content for free, pretty much, for you guys, to help you get to that point to where eventually one day you can work with me. That's my sales pitch, essentially. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.